Hey guys, it's Tell with Oshawa Bushcraft. I'm bringing another video in my Poor Man's Bushcraft Kit series. I am aiming these videos at other bushcrafters like myself, generally in my area, who are going to have access to the same kind of stuff I have access to, and have the same kind of budget I do. Dave's doing similar videos like this all the time, and I love his videos, and I'm always eager. Every time one comes out, I'm eager to watch it. And I was watching some of his bulletproof videos lately, and he might give you 5 products to look at, and out of them, 4 out of the 5 I can't find up here, and then the 5th one is available, but it's 3 times the price he quotes. And as much as I love his videos, we're in another country. They don't really apply up here. It sucks. You know, I'm not far from Lake Ontario here. If I go down there, I can see the New York State on the other side. I can see buildings on the other side of the lake, and I pay 3 times what they pay for gear up here. So keep that in mind with these videos. I'm putting these towards people in my area. What I'm going to talk to you today about is gloves. They're a critically important item for outdoorsmen in general and for bushcraft. And in the last couple of years, I've gone through a lot of different gloves and been really unhappy with most of them. And I wanted to share my experiences with you so that you can learn from where I've been. Now I'm going to move this camera around so you can see what I got to show you today. And we'll go from there. Stick around. Alright guys, now it seems like the go-to gloves to wear in bushcraft are your fitted mechanics gloves. The Velcro closure on the back, and they're fitted to your hands. And I've been through a bunch of these, and I can't stand them. I'm a mechanic too. I work on my own car. I used to buy these for working on my car because they look like a good idea, especially up here in the cold. And what I found is as much as there's some that are called insulated, they're not insulated for Canada. You're going to be cold wearing these things. They're not enough. And they never last. The more money I've spent on gloves, the faster they've failed. If I'm not ripping the fingertips out of them, I'm ripping the palms out of them. I bring them out here for bushcraft stuff, and by the end of my first weekend, they look trashed. By the end of the second weekend, they're so beat up, I'm throwing them out. And that frustrates the heck out of me. The more money I spend on them, the longer I'm trying to get them to last. I found myself actually taking the gloves off to do really ugly jobs to protect my gloves and just ripping up my hands, which is really reverse logical. So I went looking for other options, and I played around with a lot of stuff. I'm going to share that with you guys. There's your first choice. $3 construction worker, what do they call these? Split cowhide gloves, work gloves. These have been out in the field a long time, and they just look dirty. They're still running 100%. And these are really cheap ones. These are probably $3 or $4 a pair. And I like having multiple sets of gloves and different sets of kit, so I have different options. And these are definitely a good cheap option. You can find these anywhere from $2 to $20. And they might not look glamorous. You might not look like an operator with the fitted gloves on, but they protect your hands. What more do you want? I've seen a few guys wearing these things. These are your cotton-backed, what do they call these, nitrile coated or something, rubberized coated. They're going to give you good protection too. They're lightweight. I like the nice bright color. They had some dark colors, but I actually went for these because I know I'm not going to lose them. And these ones have a very thick rubberized coating on them, if you can see it. And they're going to protect your hands, and these are like $2. Again, they don't look fancy, but they're going to get the job done. They're going to protect your hands. They're going to keep you comfortable for the weekend. These are ones I'm actually carrying as a backup. These are packed away in my pack, and if I lose my gloves, maybe I put them too close to the fire to dry them or something, or I lose them out of the boat, these are my backups, because I think gloves are important. There's nothing you can do out here without your hands. These are my go-tos right now. These are what these are. Cowhide, what are we calling them here? Suede cowhide leather. Sometimes they're called split leather glove. These came from Dollarama for $3, and I'm loving these gloves. What I'm doing with them, so I got these liners. They're like 70% wool Army surplus. I think they come from the US Army, but they're nothing special. The other option I use is, again, from the dollar store, generic cotton work gloves, and I use them as a liner. These ones were like $1.25 for a 2-pack. Put your liner on. Put your work glove over top of it. I kind of lock them together a little bit by pulling my liners over top. And there, I got a good deal of dexterity with these on. I can move around, but they're acting like an insulated glove. I got a heavy leather outer with a cotton inner. If I happen to hit myself with my axe, I'm gonna have some good protection. I'm certainly not gonna cut myself. It's got added sub padding. I can handle really hot stuff now around the fire. The suede will take it very well, and I have a layer between me and the suede. And put together like that, they're not a pain to get on and off. It's not a problem. Something I do with all my work gloves is I add these little dongles on here. It's just 2 stitches with my repair needle and some paracord. Sometimes they look a little different. Sometimes they're shorter. Sometimes with these work gloves, I actually just take my tarp repair kit and put a grommet through here. And what that lets me do is hang these from my kit from a carabiner, or right from my belt with a carabiner, so that they're out and they're accessible so I can get at them. Too many times I don't have a pants with pockets, or I don't have pouches available, and they're packed away in my pack, and I find myself doing all sorts of work before I take the time to pull my gloves out and ripping my hands up when I have good work gloves. I just don't get at. So by having them out like this, I have no excuse not to use them. They're accessible, I can get at them. They hang right from the front of my pack, in front of my thigh. And if you get them wet this way, you can carry them without getting the rest of your gear wet. They can dry out here on their own. And those are my go-tos. So for $3 and for $1.25 you get 2 sets of liners. You're in for what, $4.25, and you've got, well, 1.5 pairs of gloves there. And by carrying them like this, you can use both of these separately. If you need to wear something to bed at night in the cold, you got these liners to use. If you need something just for around camp, or maybe I'm out hunting and I want to handle my rifle without freezing my hands, I got these ones. I still got these for moving hot stuff around the fire for the big work. If these get wet, I can wear these while these dry. I've got options to work with. I got 2 full sets of gloves for, what was that, under $5. So that's my go-to. That's what I like using. I recommend you try it yourselves, or if you like spending $25 on fancy looking gloves that don't last a weekend, you can keep doing that. So that's my go-to right there, guys. Thanks for looking. Again, feel free to comment, put up your recommendations. If you have any questions, ask. If I can answer them, I will. Thanks a lot, guys. Alright guys, one thing I forgot to add. Your next step up from the suede gloves is going to be to find a set of the black, they call it top grain leather. It's where it almost looks like the animal's skin. My recommendation for these, hit your surplus stores. A lot of times they have surplus military gloves. I know the Army Navy Outfitters has, I think they're Luftwaffe German Air Force gloves for like $10. Those you can oil, you can polish them with black boot polish. They're going to last a long time. They're going to be maintainable, and you can make them waterproof. That'll be your next step up from the suede gloves. But I forgot to throw that in there. That's your next option up. And while I got you here, that's the suede gloves hanging from my pack. Where you can get at them. It's where they should be.